Right, ready for this. Today we are diving deep into a historical mystery. And this one might just turn everything you thought you knew about Alexander the Great totally upside down.
Yeah.
So we all know him as this unstoppable conqueror, right?
Right.
Sweeping across Persia into India, seemingly unbeatable. But what if I told you there's a story out there, a crucial battle, that's barely mentioned in any history books?
It is fascinating, isn't it? Most historical accounts, they just kind of skim over the end of Alexander's life, but we've got some really interesting source material. It suggests that his final days were way more dramatic and unexpected than the traditional narrative lets on.
Oh, it's definitely dramatic.
Yep.
We're talking about an army of ferocious dogs, a warrior elephant,
Wow.
and a whole new perspective on Alexander's supposed invincibility.
Interesting.
And where did we find this juicy piece of history? Well, it comes from a scholar named Narveen Aryaputri.
Narveen learned about this alternate version of history from an Indian Raja, and he was a direct descendant of the king who supposedly went head-to-head with Alexander.
And get this. She was at the historic Gymkhana Club in New Delhi
Really?
when the Rajas shared this incredible story.
Wow, what a setting.
Right, talk about a setting. This elegant place, steeped in history, becomes the backdrop for a tale of ancient warfare. And the Raja didn't hold back on the details. He described his ancestors' army, an army of 1,000 dogs, as big as leopards, specially bred and armored for battle. Can you imagine facing that?
Now you might be wondering, why dogs? But this Raja, he was a brilliant tactician. He knew that the terrain of the Khyber Pass was treacherous, all narrow cliffs and winding paths. He also knew that Alexander's army was exhausted and probably not expecting a fight.
Right. Those dogs, with their ferocity and sheer unexpectedness, would have been absolutely terrifying. I mean, picture this. You're a soldier in Alexander's army, already worn down from months of marching and fighting. You're finally making your way through this narrow pass, and suddenly chaos erupts. Giant dogs, maybe even wearing spiked collars and armor, are swarming all over the place.
Yeah, it would have been pure mayhem. The Raja, he understood that the battlefield isn't always about who has the bigger army. It's about using what you have strategically. And in this case, he used those dogs to create absolute chaos, turning the Khyber Pass into a living nightmare for Alexander's forces.
Oh, and it gets even wilder.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a dog attack.
No.
We're talking full-blown clash of cultures here.
Right.
The Raja, riding atop his war elephant, facing off against Alexander on horseback. Talk about an epic scene.
Yeah, it really captures the imagination, doesn't it? This clash of titans, these two powerful figures representing completely different worlds, colliding in this narrow mountain pass.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And according to the Raja's account, the battle itself was brutal. Imagine the chaos, the dust, the clash of metal, the roars of the dogs, and the trumpeting of the elephant.
And the Raja's elephant even had its trunk severed in the fight.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it?
I mean...
But not before the elephant managed to knock Alexander from his horse.
Really?
That's a key moment. Alexander's army, seeing their leader go down, they thought he was dead.
Oh, wow.
And retreated.
So it just...
Imagine the impact of seeing your seemingly invincible leader fall in such a chaotic battle.
Right. I mean, talk about demoralizing.
Yeah.
That image of the elephant's severed trunk, it's brutal, right?
It is.
But it also highlights the unexpected consequences of the Raja's tactics.
Nice.
Because that injured elephant ended up going rogue,
Yeah.
creating a diversion that allowed Alexander to escape.
Wow.
Talk about a twist.
Really underscores how even the best laid plans can have unforeseen outcomes, doesn't it?
It really does.
Now, historians all agree that Alexander retreated from India and died relatively young,
They do.
but they're pretty vague about the actual cause of death.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But here's another interesting detail. Alexander's body was found in a honey-filled coffin
Oh.
that suggests a pretty hasty embalming process. Maybe because they were in a hurry to get him back over that treacherous Khyber Pass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It all kind of adds up, doesn't it?
It does raise some intriguing questions.
Yeah.
And Narveen's own experience adds another layer to the story.
Yeah.
She actually encountered the Anatolian dog breed in modern-day Turkey.
Yeah.
And these dogs are fierce.
So I bet.
She said their bite is even stronger than a lion's, which totally echoes the Raja's description of those ancient war dogs.
Wow.
It's a chilling reminder that this story, while incredible, is also very plausible.
So, I mean, how could a battle this dramatic, this significant, be completely missing from our traditional Western accounts of Alexander's campaigns?
That's what Narveen calls suppressed facts. And it makes you think about how history is often written by the victors.
Right, yeah, so it's like we only get one side of the story.
Yeah, the side that glorifies those in power.
So whose voices are missing?
Right.
Whose stories haven't been told?
It's a great question.
Narveen's willingness to listen to the Raja, to give him a platform, is what makes this whole re-examination of history possible. I mean, this account doesn't erase Alexander's achievements, but it does add a layer of complexity.
It does.
It reminds us that even the most celebrated figures in history faced setbacks.
Right.
And it shines a light on the bravery and strategic genius of those who stood up to them.
For sure.
This story of the war dogs, it's almost like a keyhole, right?
Yeah.
It gives us a glimpse into a whole different way of understanding history.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much more is out there that we just don't know.
And that's the beauty of these deep dives. They encourage us to question what we think we know and to seek out different perspectives.
Yeah.
History isn't static. It's a living, breathing tapestry woven from countless threads.
It's incredible to think that this story, passed down through generations, has been preserved within the Raja's family.
It really is.
It makes you wonder what other lost stories, what other forgotten battles might be out there just waiting to be discovered.
And that's the power of exploration. It opens up new avenues, encourages us to question our assumptions, and helps us embrace the richness and diversity of the human story.
This whole story has left me with a sense of wonder
Yeah.
and a thirst to learn more.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a reminder that history is never truly settled. There's always more to learn, more to question.
Absolutely.
What stands out to you from this particular deep dive?
I think for me, it's the Raja's just sheer audacity.
Yeah.
To use an army of ferocious dogs,
Right.
knowing the psychological impact it would have on Alexander's forces. It really speaks to a deep understanding of warfare, thinking outside the box, going beyond those conventional tactics.
Right. It's like he completely flipped the script on what a battlefield could be.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize that even those who seem invincible can be vulnerable, especially when someone comes at them with a completely unexpected approach. Who knows how differently history might have unfolded if more leaders had embraced such bold, out-of-the-box strategies.
It really makes you think. This story, I think, encourages us to think critically about power dynamics,
Yeah.
to recognize the agency and resilience of those who resisted domination. It's a reminder that history is made not only by the victors, but also by those who dared to challenge them.
And you know, what makes this deep dive even more remarkable is Narveen Aryaputri's role in bringing this story to light.
Right.
It's like she's a bridge between the world of academia and the world of oral tradition, taking this ancient story passed down through generations and sharing it with a wider audience.
She's like a modern-day Indiana Jones, unearthing these hidden gems of history. Her willingness to listen to the Raja's story, to give it credence, is what makes this whole exploration possible.
Absolutely. It highlights the importance of valuing diverse forms of knowledge,
Yeah.
of recognizing that truth can reside in unexpected places.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that there's always more to learn, more to uncover, more to question.
And it's not just about uncovering the past. It's about understanding the present. These suppressed facts, as Narveen calls them, have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
They influence everything from cultural narratives to geopolitical relationships.
It's like peeling back the layers of a historical onion, revealing all the complexities and nuances that have been hidden for centuries. And it makes you wonder what other lost stories, what other alternative narratives are out there waiting to be discovered.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? What can we learn from this deep dive into Alexander's encounter with the Raja and his formidable army of dogs?
Well, I think it's a call to action. Don't just accept the dominant narratives,
Yeah.
Question what you think you know. Seek out those alternative perspectives. Consider the voices that have been marginalized or silenced. Remember, history is a tapestry woven from countless threads, and each thread holds a story.
And for those listening, we challenge you to continue this exploration. What hidden histories might be lurking in your own family stories, in your local community, in the archives waiting to be unearthed?
Never underestimate the power of a single story to challenge the status quo and reshape our understanding of the world. Keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and you might just uncover something truly remarkable.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those deep dives going.